Hey everyone, thanks for waiting. Welcome. I am Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary live, post-game live stream here on Tuesday, February the 2nd, on a night that the Vancouver Canucks once again defeated by the Montreal Canadiens 5-3. A much closer game than yesterday, a more competitive game. I would say that the Canucks played not as sloppily, but still made a few mistakes, which I'll get into. So hold your questions. We will certainly get to your questions as we go. But yes, it looks like a smaller crowd tonight, which is fine. It's early, and the Canucks lost. So let's see how we do tonight with this stream. So once again, hold your questions for until I ask for them. But you can be chatting in the comments. That's fine. Just keep it clean like you always do. And I want to say a couple things. So first off, invite you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel already. I invite you to like this video. It doesn't mean you like the fact that Canucks lost. It means you like the fact that we can hang out together tonight. And I want to give a shout out to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Just Incredible, and nucksfan number 29. And if you would like to consider becoming a member, you can do so by pressing join. If you're watching from a desktop, on any of my videos, just press the join button, or you can go to the memberships tab. And if you're on mobile, you just got to switch your YouTube app to the desktop client, if that makes sense. And if you want to support me that way, that's awesome. And if you don't care to do so, that's fine as well. Lastly, about that, anyone who joins the CCC crew, the Clay's Canucks commentary crew, for the rest of the month, enter you into a draw to win a $25 gift certificate to Van Base, the Canucks team store. Okay, so no matter where you're watching from, whether you're in the Steveston area, in Richmond, in the Lower Mainland, in the province, in the country, on the continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. It's early. It's 7 o'clock Pacific time, so it's only 10 o'clock on the East Coast, so we'll see if any East Coasters join us. And oh, by the way, Gmod, I did find out where I was. I know you're from the East, so I've been to Halifax, I've been to Charlottetown, and I've been to Mabou. Mabou. Not Mabuya, but Mabou. Mabou. So Gmod, give me a hello if that makes sense, that I was in Mabou, Nova Scotia. Okay. Really quickly, my thoughts on this game. The Canucks had a better effort. The line juggling worked a little bit, although Pettersson kind of unleashed himself on the power play. Only one really bad giveaway, I guess Sutter's giveaway on the second goal. But Josh Anderson's first goal, he did outmuscle Jalen Chatfield. Josh Anderson's second goal, that was a Sutter giveaway, then a deflection where Anderson was in front of Schmidt, but they weren't really engaged. Then Tyler Toffoli's first goal, he was outmuscling Hughes for his deflection. Interesting how Anderson and Toffoli's deflections came on the same side of Demko. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And Tyler Toffoli's second goal, I think that Ben could have played that a lot better. So I would argue that 3 of the 4 goals, they weren't actually giveaways or turnovers, but they were Canucks defensemen getting outmuscled. And that's Chatfield, Hughes, and Ben. So I think that was the issue tonight more than turnovers or giveaways or a sloppy play. Nice to see Pettersson get on the board on the power play. I thought Roussel had a good game. No, he was in and out of the penalty box. I thought he was okay. You know who I thought was good was Hoglander. No points for Hoglander, but definitely was noticeable. McEwen only got 7 minutes. Gaudette only got 7.5. Not sure why you don't play Virtanen tonight after he had a very impressive game last night. And then Chatfield and Ben only got 13 minutes. So I actually tweeted, and then I'll get to your questions. I actually tweeted that I wouldn't mind seeing this lineup for Toronto on the blue line. Why not try Hughes and Schmidt? Why not? They'll be very offensive minded. Not sure how good their defense is going to be, but why not? Let's try it. Then put Edler and Myers. They're actually pretty good together. I think Edler is the one player that Myers plays well with. And then you could go Juolevi back in the lineup with either Ben or Chatfield, likely Ben, for a more steady presence there. So that's what I would try next game against Toronto. I would try Hughes and Schmidt. Yes, it means Schmidt going back to the right side. I would try Edler Myers, and I would try Juolevi with Ben. And let's see how that goes. Okay, so let's get started. I will get to your questions starting now. Make sure you like this video. We're only at 6 likes. We'd love to see that come up a bit. But let's go, and I will go from questions only to start. And Gmod, thanks. Awesome. Hope you can see New Brunswick one day. Charlottetown is nice. All right. Hey, it's okay. If people aren't Canucks fans in here, that's fine. We're going to still treat them with respect. It just no matter what team you cheer for, just keep it clean and keep it respectful. Okay, let's start with Andrew. Hey, Clay. So what do you think about playing the Leafs this weekend? You guys know at the start of the road trip, I said they need 3 out of 3. You want to stay at 500 at least, especially coming home. 3-3 road trip is decent. Remember, it's still a road trip. They won against Winnipeg. They lost 2 against Montreal. So if Vancouver takes 2 out of 3 against Toronto, then you're 3-3 on the road trip. I still call that a successful road trip. If they win all 3 against Toronto, that's awesome. They're 4-2. If they only win 1 out in Toronto, then that's bad. Then you're coming back 2-4. That's not a successful road trip. So let's go with, if they can take 2 out of 3, easier said than done, then I still think it's a successful road trip. And I think that's the positive we can take out of this. But they did it kind of backwards with Montreal, right? Is on the homestand where they only took 1 of 3 from Montreal, but then they took 3 of 3 from Ottawa to make it a 500 record coming out of there. So same thing. They beat Winnipeg. They lost 2 to Montreal, but I'd love if they took if they could take 2 out of 3 from Toronto, that would be good. So everyone, let's relax. Let's take a deep breath. I think we'll be okay. I hope so. Gary, looked like Green tried Petey with Hoglander and Pearson and Bo with Besser and JT early. Thoughts? Yeah, I didn't mind the line juggling, but what I didn't like, actually, I don't think Pettersson plays well with Pearson. I thought about this last year too when they were paired once in a while. I actually don't like Pettersson with Pearson, but then is a Horvat Pearson Besser line fast enough? Can you imagine Petey with Miller and Hoglander? That's the other way you could do it. But I didn't mind the line juggling. They're obviously trying to something else for sure. Fangirl, hey Clay, in your opinion, what was our biggest downfall in tonight's game? I think it was not aggressive enough forechecking. Not aggressive enough checking by the defensemen. 3 of the 4 goals, as I explained, were Montreal players winning battles against us. Maddie, hey Maddie, nice to see you. We have royalty in the house. Just coming to say hi. Sad about the game tonight, but I remain hopeful for you next time. That is very sweet. I know your Dallas Stars are completely rolling. And Maddie, thanks for coming in, and I'll see you on Instagram. P.O., did you see the goal of Toffoli for the Habs? Yeah, I saw both of them. You'll levy with Ben. Good idea. We'll see. Gmod. Sunny, hey Clay, is it time for you to take the net instead of Holtby? I think I'm bigger than Holtby, and I don't think I'm as agile. So, but thank you for the vote of confidence. But I still think Holtby is better than me. Leafs forever. How come they can't beat the Habs? I just don't think we match up well against them. Their speed in their top 9 is hard to handle for the Canucks for whatever reason. We're not as fast in our forward group, and we're certainly not as fast on D. Hughes, like I mentioned yesterday, Hughes is a good skater. He's not like fast though. He's a good skater, but you see him get chased down quite a bit. Myers is okay for his size, and Schmidt's okay, but Edler's not fast. Ben's not fast. Chatfield's okay. So I think their forwards are quite speedy, and we have trouble with that. Do we need Travis Hamonic back? Yeah, Noah, I think we do. He had a rough start to his tenure with the Canucks, but he is a veteran, and I think he can be a steadying presence for sure. He's got a little bit to go for sure, though. Sonny, how would the lineup look for the Canucks if McDavid and Draisaitl paid for $700K contracts? Who would you replace, and who would go down the lineup? If McDavid and Draisaitl played for $700K, then you drop Roussel and McEwen or Gaudette, and then now you have McDavid, Draisaitl, and say Besser on your top line. Then you have PD with Miller and Horvat on your second line, and then you go. I guess you put anyone at center, and then Hoglander and Pearson on your third line. That would be good. Tom, should we look for new management regardless of the season's outcome? I think people are getting a little bit more impatient with Jim Benning for sure. And you see the fact that who's doing all the damage? Tyler Toffoli. Who did we trade a lot to get? Tyler Toffoli. Who did we not re-sign? Tyler Toffoli. So you could argue that the Tyler Toffoli example is a pretty bad look for Jim Benning for sure. Pettersson or Draisaitl, Sonny G. I love Pettersson, but Draisaitl, he's one of the top 3 players in the game. I'd say right now, you say whatever order you pick, it's McDavid and Draisaitl, McDavid, and then Nathan McKinnon. I think those are your top 3 players. Pettersson isn't there just yet. Gmod, who do you think this team needs the most? Better D-men or better bottom 6? It's the D-men. I think the bottom 6 have been good. They've been good. They've been scoring. And yeah, they got dominated 5-on-5 today, but I think the bottom 6 is the least of our problems this season so far. Inferno Clay, thoughts on the last-minute surge by the Canucks? I actually thought when we were down 4-2, I actually thought they should have played with more urgency. Like, they seem to be passing around the outside without getting shots. That's so fine if you're down 1 goal and you have 2 minutes. But if you're down 2 goals, imagine if they scored that goal, that Pearson scored that goal 30 seconds earlier. Now you have a minute and a half to play with instead of only a minute. I do think they should be more urgent in those last 2 minutes. The fact that they scored. When do you think Juolevi should come back, Noah? I want him in next game. Parker's here with upside down happy face. So they're like a big monobrow and eyes. Fangirl, with Dr. Bonnie Henry extending restrictions, does it hurt the people who actually follow the rules, or does it hurt the rule breakers more? I think it hurts everyone. The rule breakers are going to continue to break rules. You kind of think that the people that are following the rules are kind of getting the short end of the stick, so to speak. But for me, it's not about who's hurting more. It's a matter of our whole society is hurting. But yes, it's not a good look on certain people for sure. Jackson, what would you think about moving Mott up in the lineup and giving him more time on ice? He got 13 tonight. Yeah, I'd put him on the third line at least. I'm surprised they haven't tried him on the third line because he can still kill penalties. That doesn't matter what line you're on. So I'd love to see Mott get more ice time. I think that's a great point. Rios, Benning is a clown. Thoughts? I'm okay with Jim Benning's job. I think he's done a great job drafting. I think some of the trades he's done have been good. Like the Toffoli trade was good when it was happening. The Pearson trade was great. Josh Leavell trade was good, although he's gone. So there's been a JT Miller trade I like. So I think his trading's been pretty good. His drafting has been excellent. His signings and extensions and free agent signings have been horrible. Don't put Horvat with Pettersson. That's fine. Great game by Suzuki. Yes. Ethan, hey Clay, if the Canucks GM position was offered to you, would you take it? I bet money you do better than Jim. That's very kind of you. You're actually not the first person that said it. Obviously, I respect Jim Benning. I respect any GM. There's a lot that we don't know that happens. But I do think I have the intelligence. I do think I have the speaking ability. I do think I have the management ability. I do think I have the hockey knowledge. Now, mind you, there's a lot more than what we see. But that is intriguing to me, I admit. But I don't know if I do better than him. I think I might be more popular than him, though, for sure. But it's not a popularity contest, right? You just want to... But you will get more popular the more you win, I guess. Ron, hey, how's it going? I'm great, thanks. How are you? Thanks for being here. Noah, how come Jake was scratched after yesterday's performance? Your guess is as good as mine, Noah. Parker agrees with the lack of urgency. 2 minutes down. Down by 2 with 2 minutes left. Inferno Clay, do you think there's a possibility the NHL season will get canceled because of the increasing presence of COVID-19 within certain teams? I don't think it'll be canceled. I think because they put too much work into their protocols and things. I think if anything, it's going to get delayed or it's going to get moved to a bubble because they know that they've made that work before. But no, I don't think that the season itself will get canceled. Tom says Virtanen's gone for Sam Bennett. I said this last night. I don't think Calgary makes that trade. PD, 17C, is Montreal simply better than us, or are we playing sloppy and not to our potential? I think we are playing sloppy. I think we are not playing our potential. But having said that, you could argue that Montreal is a better team right now. They're getting better goaltending. Their defense is more consistent, and their scoring is more spread out and a lot more dangerous. You guys know that Tyler Toffoli leads the league now in goals, and if they just counted goals against the Canucks, he'd be tied for the league with Brock Besser and Connor McDavid. Inferno, Wonder where Dexter is. And for no, that's very nice of you to think. Yeah, Dexter actually texted me, asked me what night it's tonight, what time my live stream was. And when I told him it was 7, he said he'll try and pop on for the end. So he could have a practice or a meeting or studying of sort. So we'll have to rely on the rest of us to pick up the slack, so to speak. Ethan, sorry, Clay, but what people don't realize is Benning doesn't do much of the drafting. It was Judd Brackett prior to the Podkolzin pick. Ethan, I've read those stories, and I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. A lot of people will say it was all Brackett. Some people aren't giving Brackett enough opinion. Ultimately, Benning has to have the final say. So no need to apologize, but I do think Benning has a large hand in the drafting, even if he had a head scout like Judd Brackett. But yeah, it was a partnership for sure. But ultimately, the buck stops with Benning. When and what do the Canucks have to do to become a legit cup contender? They got to get rid of some bad contracts, dead money, Eriksson, Berchi, Luongo, cap hit, cap recapture penalty. So there's a few things they need to do. And then I think they're 3 or 4 years away still. Fangirl, do the Canucks have back-to-back against Toronto this upcoming 3-game series? Yeah, they play... Is it Thursday, Friday? No, Thursday, Saturday. I should look it up real quick. I know the first game's on Thursday. I know there's one back-to-back in there. No, actually, it's not back-to-back. It's Thursday, Saturday, Monday, if that rings a bell. Yes, it's Thursday, Saturday, Monday, because I remember, and I made a point of this in my vlog today, Thursday, Saturday, Monday. After the Monday game against Toronto, the Canucks finally get their first 2-day gap. Can you believe it? This season, they played 13 games in 21 nights. They've never had more than 1 day between games. So after the third Toronto game, they'll finally get their first 2-day gap. That is crazy when you think about it. Harry, hi Clay, how's it going? I'm great, Harry. Hope you're well. Tough loss day, but it was close to tying it out. Yeah, it was tough. The empty netter, you don't really count. Well, you count it, but ultimately, it was a 1-goal game. Harry, will the Canucks get Luke Hughes in the draft this year if they don't make it to the playoffs? Harry, is too simple to say that because it depends on where they finish and where they pick, of course. Sonny, hey Clay, what is your most valuable and favorite Canucks-related thing you have? Most valuable and favorite. Well, I have a signed Luongo jersey, and you guys know Luongo is my favorite player. So I think sentimental, valuable, that's pretty cool. What's my favorite thing? My favorite Canucks thing that I have. It's probably my Hughes jersey, my Quinn Hughes jersey. So my favorite thing is my Quinn Hughes jersey, my the black skate. My most memorable or valuable, however you call it, is likely my Luongo signed jersey. But there's a couple other memories I have that are more like anecdotal or comments on comments on my videos or meeting certain players like Pettersson, or even meeting Bo Horvat's dad at a game and having Bo Horvat's dad, Tim, recognize me because he watches my vlogs. That was kind of cool. Little things like that. Maestro, do you think Virtanen will get traded at the end of this month? So hard to say. You got to build up his trade value first. Jackson, in your opinion, what's the number one thing the Canucks need to improve on in order to beat teams like Montreal? If there was one thing, it's either defensive depth or getting more out of your top players. I can't believe I'm complaining about our Lotto line, but we need them to do more. Do you think the loss of Stetcher affected the locker room? He was close with all the younger players. Dan Tat, I don't think so. As much as I like Stetcher, good Richmond boy. No, I think I don't think that was the biggest issue. I think losing admittedly Markstrom and Tanev from a leadership perspective and Toffoli from an on-ice perspective, those are bigger losses. Phil says, do you think the Canucks hire Gillis again? No, I don't. Let me just check. I'm going to add, let me just see one thing real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's keep on going. No, I don't think the Canucks hire Gillis again. Why would Flames want Virtanen? You think Tanev and Markstrom would recommend him? Yeah, Lefty, good point. Virtanen has low trade value. Thoughts, Clay Inferno? I think he does. That's why I thought after a night like last night, you could play him a bit more and start to build up his trade value. But yes, I don't think he's got a lot of trade value right now. If he's not even playing for us, why would that make him attractive to another team? Tom Berchi has 1 year left. No need to buy him out. Yeah, it only makes sense to buy guys out when they have 1 year left on the contract. That is true. Sonny, hey Clay, did you know Queen Elizabeth dropped the puck in Rogers Arena alongside Naslin taking the face off? Yes, I remember that. Who is the bigger threat to the Canucks, Tavares or Matthews? I think Austin Matthews is a much better player, so I'm going with him. Harry, what was your memorable game you have attended at Rogers Arena? Oh, great question. Two of them. One of them was the Sedin's final game where they scored in that magical overtime shift. And the other one was when we beat the Chicago Blackhawks and we slayed the Dragon. I was there. And then third place or second runner up would be when the stanchion goal to send us to the Stanley Cup Finals also in 2011. Arso, hey Clay, how are you? I'm great, Arso. Hope you're well. Thoughts on JT Miller constantly turning the puck over carelessly. He's starting to get frustrated. Yeah, there's something up with him. He's got to be better. He was our best, one of our top 3 players last year. He's not playing it this year. Maestro, do you think the Canucks need a new logo? Not really something I've thought about, admittedly. So not really. I think it's fine. Ricky, wow, Ricky. Hey Clay, how are you, brother? I'm great, thank you. Nice to see you. I think the Canucks will be fine in shape. I think the Canucks will be in fine shape the rest of the month. I said the same thing after we lost to Montreal the last time and went on to win 4 straight. I do think if we come out 2 out of 3 from Toronto, then it's a successful road trip. It's 3-3. Nice to see you, Ricky. What's the best section to sit in Rogers Arena? Fangirl, depends what you want. I like sitting down below because there's no bars, but not too low. Yes, it's nice to be close to the action, but if you're too low, especially down the sides, you're often craning your neck to see what's happening, or you're watching the scoreboard. Why would you spend $150 to watch the Jumbotron? I like being in the lower bowl, but about 15 rows up where you can see the ice, the whole thing. Or I like being, upper bowl, dead center. And if you really like hockey and you like to see the way they do line changes and the way that plays develop. Actually, my seats are pretty good at section 319. I see the Canucks shoot twice. I sit right where the anthem singer and the guy cranking the horn in where they stand. That's my section. It's in the offensive zone twice. Those are actually really good seats. Line or Besser? I like Besser. I really do. But he doesn't have the same pedigree or the same... I don't know. Line seems to be more explosive, but I really like the way Besser started this year. I might go with Besser, actually. To beat Montreal, you need speed, and Toronto exposed that. Okay, yeah. So to beat Montreal, you need speed. That's not us. Fangirl, you're welcome. I want a couple more, and you've asked from the very start, and you've been here basically from the very start. No problem. Is Jace Harlock ever going to play? Noah, good question. I don't know. Tyler Mott went crazy, injuring Harlock and fighting Adam Gaudette. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Harlock does when he gets in, if he gets in, and what Hamonic can do when he gets back in. Sonny, out of Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Calgary, how would you put them in order from best to worst overall cities? Sonny, do you mean I'll do both. Do you mean cities or hockey teams? Hockey teams right now, you got to go Toronto, Montreal, or maybe Montreal, Toronto, and then Vancouver, Calgary tied. In order of cities, I've been to all 4 of them. I've only lived in Vancouver, but I've traveled. Montreal, I've been twice. Toronto, I've been half a dozen times. Calgary, I've been 3 or 4 times. Best to worst, it depends what you like. I love Vancouver because Vancouver, you get the perfect mix of city and beautiful scenery. Great culture, Montreal. Toronto's busy and Calgary's clean. So I'm going to go, for me, Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, Calgary. Who am I kidding? Probably Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Calgary. Last time I was in Toronto, I went to that Raptors parade. That was fun. Jackson, even though Besser's producing well, do you think he's a player to invest in long-term since he has a history of injuries? Or would it be better to trade him for a more reliable winger. I don't think we're going to trade him, but it depends what happens after the end of his 3-year contract this year. He was signed under the old rules where our qualifying offer has got to be 100% basically the last year of his contract, which is $7.5 million. That's a lot, but that's still a year and a half away. Chris, hey Clay, what do you think of the first 2 goals directed in by the Canucks? Demko only let in 1 credible goal tonight. Do you feel the same? If you're talking about the fact that 2 of them were deflections, if that's what you mean, yeah, those are tough. They're both on the same side, though, his glove side on his left, but exactly the same spot that both Anderson and Toffoli deflected them in from. Yeah, you can't do anything about those. You want the defense to play tougher. CCM or Bauer? I answered this a few streams ago. Bauer, only because I have some Bauer ice skates. Arso, what do you think about the thought the Canadian division is easier to get points in? Do you agree with that thought process? Not necessarily. Every division is going to have its bad teams, and every division, like even the East Division, Rangers, Islanders, Jersey, Buffalo, those teams haven't done so well so far. Of course, they have Boston, Philly, Pittsburgh, Washington. In the Pacific Division, it's the Pacific. Even the North Division, there's obviously Ottawa. There's the California teams in the West. So I think there's always going to be bad teams. So no, I don't really buy that, Arsenal, that the Canadian division is easier to get points. Tom, Harlock is still on IR. Yeah, he should be able to come off soon, though. Pekka's in the house. Coach Rob is here. If Gretzky were in today's NHL, would he score more points than McDavid consistently every year or not even one year beat him? I think they could go back and forth trading scoring titles. Gretzky obviously doesn't have the same speed as McDavid, but the smartest player to ever play. I think that would be a fascinating debate. But how can you argue with McDavid's speed? Like McDavid puts up 5.6 nights, crazy. But so did Gretzky. Ethan, assuming Benning's still GM at the end of the season, how do you think he will handle having to sign P.D. Hughes and Demko? I'm scared considering how he botched this offseason. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he knows this is coming for a long time. He's got some money coming off the books. But we'll see. I talked about yesterday how I was surprised that Brian Burke said that P.D. and Hughes would get identical contracts because Pettersson is worth more than Hughes, even though Hughes is playing better. But like I said, you usually pay your all-star center more than you pay your all-star defenseman. Fangirl, Vancouver makes the playoffs. What round do you see the Canucks going to before getting eliminated? Too early to say, Fangirl. Too early to say right now. Maestro, are you going to Seattle when the Canucks play Seattle? Are you going to vlog it? Of course. I will, by hook or by crook, I will get down there, and I think that would be a lot of fun. Will Ovi catch Gretzky? Gmod, I go back and forth on this one. Sometimes I think he will. Other times, but he's what, he's about 140, 150 down, so he's got 4 more seasons to go. I think he could, but I don't think he will. I just have a sense. Yeah, and Rome seems to agree with me. Jackson, what current Canuck would you like to sit down and interview yourself? Oh, like what? Who would I like to interview? Not who would I like to interview myself. Current Canuck, I think Nate Schmidt would be a lot of fun. I just have a feeling Nate Schmidt and I would get along. I think we have the same type of energy. Pettersson and Hughes would be fun, but they seem like tougher interviews. I think Nate Schmidt, and you hear him. That's why the Canucks trot him out in front of the media all the time. I think he's very thoughtful. So I think informally, I've had some really good chats with Anton Roussel when I volunteer at the golf tournaments. Roussel off the record, but maybe Nate Schmidt on the record. Noah, who do you think is most vulnerable on the Canucks of Seattle? Could be anyone. It could be, guys that will be exposed. I think Virtanen, Gaudette, Myers, Holtby. So it depends. There's going to be a lot of good goaltenders out there. So it could be Holtby. It could be a younger guy like Gaudette, Virtanen. We'll see. When do our injured players come back? Seems like forever. Yeah, it's harder to get info, but I think Hamnick and Harlock are getting closer. Good discussion between Gretzky versus McDavid. I love it. And Rome, you're welcome for the mod status. I know you and Fangirl have been here from the very start, ever since I started doing these streams. I know there's a few other people. I have nucksfan, Nuck649, Shy Jetty, Lefty All Around, Canuck Central have all offered. So you guys are the next on my list. Should Aquilini fire Benning? Sukman, not yet. Not yet. Fangirl, if you could see one of Naslund or Linden play for the Canucks today, who would you pick? I think we need more Naslund than Linden, to be honest with you. I see Horvat as very similar to Linden in that they're good leaders, that they play hard, that they have offensive ability. But I think we could use Naslund's skill in our top six. Then you could drop Pearson or Hoglander to the third line. Rome, thanks. Although I'm not admittedly very tech savvy, no problem, Rome. All you have to do as a mod is if you see something really bad or offensive, you can either delete it or put that person in timeout. Mostly just delete messages. That's the biggest thing. We don't necessarily need big bans or whatever. And for all the mods, I trust you. You know, I'm pretty lenient when it comes to things. Obviously, I didn't have mods for the longest time, but I think the more important thing is to just to make sure that things are clean and respectful. Also, it took me a day to get used. Sonny, last question, I promise. No, don't have to promise. I like the questions. What is your dream job? I would love to speak full time, like travel the world when you're allowed to do so, and do speaking and maybe some vlogging, but definitely do some speaking. I think that would be cool. If I won the lottery or anything, I would probably do something like that. And then I get to do a little bit of that on the side, obviously way more before COVID started. But yeah, I think that would be cool. Something like that. Something where I'm having an impact on people. Not for my own popularity or my own ego, but just to feel like I'm having an impact. Jackson, loving the content. It's also having someone in the community like you. Keep it up. Thank you, Jackson. I appreciate that. Toffoli is mad. The Canucks chose Virtanen over him. Yeah, you know, my son said the same thing tonight, S. Stevenson, that Toffoli is playing like a man who's upset. Vango, if you had a chance to be an astronaut and launch to space, would you, Clay? Only if I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I would come back to Earth. But I'm not very gutsy that way, so I'm not sure if that would be my first choice. John, question. What are the odds the divisions remain as they are for next season? John, great question. No, I don't think so. I think they're going to go back to regular. I think this was a nice one-off novelty, but I don't think this is going to be a permanent fixture. Or maybe you keep the same divisions, but you at least play other teams from other divisions, because I think we'll get sick of seeing the Ottawas around for forever. You know, how many times can you watch Chicago, Nashville, those kind of things? Good question, though, John. Noah, if the Canucks didn't have the biggest offseason this past one, will this mean they'll have a bigger one this upcoming one? Yeah, I think there might not be as much player movement, but there's going to be massive decisions because of the contracts to Pettersson and Hughes. I love having Tom in here. He might not agree. We might not agree with most of his takes, but at least he's not afraid to state them, and he does so respectfully. For the most part, it's not like he's blasting anyone or getting too personal. At least not yet. Chris, do you think they will start Demko on the Leafs? What's your thoughts on how he played tonight, and is there anything he can improve on? I didn't like the fact that Toffoli scored a great shot on that backhand. The Anderson goal wasn't his fault, and the other two were deflections. So I think Demko is playing better than Holtby. No, I don't think there's anything he can improve on. I think Demko will get 2 of the 3. I think with a daybreak, I think you go Demko, Holtby, Demko, if that makes sense. So I'd give Demko 2 of the 3. Fangirl, what caused the 2011 riot? I heard they were planning the riot, win or lose. Yeah, that's a long story, but in essence, there are a lot of people downtown who are going to cause trouble no matter what. Win or lose, I think that's a fair way of putting it. Arso, Clay, what was your favorite time of life? High school, teens, college, after college. Wow. Okay. Since I'll spend a minute or so on this one. This is going to sound so show-offy, but it's the truth. High school, I was the man. I was student council president. I won best athlete, best musician, service award. and I won every single subject award for 3 years. English, social science, math, French, PE, everything. So that was in junior high. It sounds like I'm showing off, but that was the honest to God truth. Then I moved to, that was junior high. Then I moved to senior high for grade 11 and 12. Now a lot more competition, so I didn't win as many awards, but that's when I started to really develop my heart for service and continue to develop my music. And that's also been and then started getting more involved in church. Then in university years, I was smart. I got into a nice job, PricewaterhouseCoopers accounting, was become a CA, did more church work, started to develop my speaking. And then after college, I ended up not doing accounting, started working for the church, married Gail, had the kids. So I think it's such a big lump of time, but the marrying Gail and having the 3 kids, that was the best part of my life for sure. But I was at my prime popularity peak in high school. Not that that's important. So, and then in later my college years is when I started getting involved in the church. So all areas of my life, I think, have been blessed in different ways. So Arso, how's that for a total sit on the fence answer? Lefty, I think Tom is a spy from the Flames. That's awesome. Tom, wasn't there a riot when we lost to the Rangers in the 90s? Yes. So we don't do well when we lose. Did you witness that riot, Gmod? Yes. I remember that happening in 94, and I was downtown in 2011. Pretty crazy. Fangirl, how close are you getting your master's? I finished 3 courses, so out of 12, so I'm 25% done. You guys, whoa, he is the man. You guys are so funny. Sonny, let me guess, Clay was a quarterback of the football team. No, I was not. I was a basketball and volleyball player, but not a football player. You guys are saying smart man. I can't even remember what I said anymore. Let's see. They should retire a jersey at your school with your name and number on it. Coach Rob, you're too good to me. Nux 649 in the house. Hey, bud. Pekka, who would you rather have on the Canucks, McDavid, Ovi, or Crosby? At this point in time, absolutely McDavid, because he's got still so many good years ahead of him. 3 good players, though. Fangirl, you should get John Shorthouse or John Garrett on your Zoom. That's a good suggestion. I really thought we were going to tie it up when Pearson scored. Yeah, Nux. We were just talking about this. I wish they showed a little bit more urgency a little bit earlier, though, but that's fine. Toffoli and Tan. Now, as I'm caught up, I can read comments as well. Cost says Toffoli and Tanev were big losses. Toffoli and Tanev established our top 6 and top 4. I'm fine with letting Markey go. It's Demko's time. I agree. Noah versing the Habs more than 2 times a season. One of the cons of an all-Canadian division because we are traveling, beating them in regulation. Yeah, but I have a feeling we're going to do well against teams like Ottawa, Edmonton, and Winnipeg. So we'll see. Michael, what's going on? Welcome. Rome says, Fangirl Gaming would love to see John Garrett on Clay's Zoom chat. He's got 100 stories. Yes, that would be a lot of fun, actually, to get John Garrett. Nux, if you need any more mods, I'm here to help. Nux, you're actually next on my list. Thank you. Actually, I just read that list out just before you got on here. So once we need more, Nux 649, you are next in line. Troy says, I think they need to make a big trade. Let's hear some suggestions. Pekka says we have to play a full 60 minutes, not 10. Fangirl says, I agree. I missed Toffoli, Markey, and Tanev. Gmod, Rome, that's a great idea. Clay with Garrett, let's make it happen. I'll do my best. Vicious Fishy, hey Clay, turn 19 today so I can drink the pain away. Well, Vicious Fishy, happy birthday to you. I'm sorry the Canucks didn't win. Just like the Canucks did not win when my son Sean turned 19 last year. It was the first, actually, game of the bubble when we lost to Minnesota. Costas, what do you think is wrong with Schmidt? Not the same players in Vegas. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, Schmidt has underperformed for sure. And I actually thought maybe that he was better than he actually is, but I still think he has time to work his way out of it. But I agree that he's underperformed for sure. Arso, Clay, what happens if we lose the first game versus the Leafs? How crazy does Canuck Nation go? I think they can lose 1 against the Leafs if we win the next 2, but I would prefer it if they won the next one. Absolutely. Yeah, they got to win 2 out of 3 for sure. Tom, the whole team other than Mott and Bo are lazy. That's your opinion, Tom. No problem, Rob. I'll be a mod too if needed here most nights. Yes, Coach Rob, I will add you to the list of potential mods. Thank you, guys. I have like 6 or 7. I don't think we're going to need this many. but I appreciate all of you offering. Vertanen for Bennett. Bennett can be our third line center. Costas, you're not alone in thinking that. I still don't think Calgary makes that trade. I fully expect the Canucks to go 3 for 3, to be honest. Seems like the last couple of years. So you think they can win all 3? That would be awesome. When do we face the Flames again? February 11th. That's our homestand. Don't forget Hoglander Tom. He is not lazy. Come on now. Dayton, why is Ole in the lineup? Are you asking why is Ole not in the lineup? I don't know. Maybe he gets in the lineup. I think he should get in the lineup on Thursday. Myers and Schmidt pair looks rough a lot of the nights. Yeah, that's why I would get Myers and Schmidt away from each other. I put Edler back with Myers. Jacob, how bad would it be if we won only one game against the Leafs? It wouldn't be horrible because we're coming back home, but I think we got to try and get 2. Easier said than done. Gmod, the mod would be fitting. Okay, I'm taking that hint. And I kind of just don't want to, not that you're saying this, I don't want to give it simply just to the people who are members too, because I recognize that some people can't or choose not to donate, and that's fine too. But Gmod, I wrote you down as well. Once these streams get to 150, 200 people, I will need more mods for sure. Sonny, did you know Luongo's third in all-time wins for goalies and his best save percentage from every other goalie to ever play? I did not know that. That's awesome. Costas, why isn't Hughes and Schmidt a pairing? Our defense isn't that good anyways. Might as well stat the defense pair. Costas, I actually said that before you got on here. I would go Hughes, Schmidt, Edler, Myers, Yolevi, Ben. That's what I go for on Thursday. Sorry, why isn't he? Thanks for your opinion, though. Dayton, I'm not sure what question that was about. In my opinion, Vertanen should have played tonight. We needed his physicality. Yeah, he had a good game last night. Not sure why he didn't play. February 11th, yes, is the next game. Ali Mott, Tyler Mott's cousin is in here. Ali, I appreciate you joining me. I'm not sure if you join other YouTuber streams, but I appreciate that you come to mine. Dill Sauce, what was a positive you saw in tonight's game? We outshot Montreal, and our special teams were good. We were 1 for 3 in the power play, and we killed off all 4 of Montreal's man advantages. That's a positive for me. S. Stevenson, there are plenty others. McEwen, Pearson, Miller, who play hard every night. The team isn't lazy, but they do turn the puck over a lot. Yeah, although I haven't been impressed with JT Miller, admittedly. Sunny Gill, is the 2021 Habs team better than the 2013 Habs team? I will have to look up that 2013 Habs team, Sunny, and I'd have to see this Montreal team do it for a bit longer. Hughes fits so well with Tanev. Not saying Ben isn't playing well, but Ben and Chatfield have come down to earth the last couple games. Dayton, opinion on Myers' overall play this year, inconsistent. Parker's, I got a burrito, so at least that's a plus. That's very important. Lefty, I'm not sure if your stomach's going to agree. Lefty, Terry Cousin get a new agent. I love the way your cousin plays. Noah, when Canucks drafted Ulevi, was supposed to be offensive defenseman or more of a solid D-man? I think they were hoping for a bit more offense, but I think it was more defense for sure. Costas, I don't think Vertanen is a Canuck by Thursday. Oh, I think that's a little too early, but we'll see. Wife's calling me for dinner. Better get going. Face her wrath. I know the plan. I know the pain. I mean, I know the feeling. Rome, go do that, and that's important. Family always first. Okay, we're at the 43-minute mark. For the last 2 or 3 minutes, non-Canucks, non-hockey questions only. So let's wrap this up with a bang. 2 or 3 minutes of non-hockey questions only. And then I'll wrap up. Non-hockey. So these are personal questions within reason. Favorite this. Favorite ice cream flavor. Pretty boring, Noah. I am a strawberry guy. Left y'all around. How many languages do you speak? Barely 1. English. I can speak a tiny bit of Japanese and I learned a bit of French, but nothing to say I can speak it. My wife can speak 4 languages. English, 2 dialects of Filipino, and a dialect of Chinese. So, yeah, I can barely speak 1. Favorite TV show? Right now, I like Blacklist. I like For Life. And I loved Criminal Minds when it was on. Favorite song right now? It's a few months old, but I really like that Holy song by Justin Bieber. Admittedly, I listen to a lot of Christian music as well. Not that saying Justin Bieber is Christian music, but you guys know what I mean. Do you own a dog? Yes, Gmod. We have I'm not sure if you heard him, but I brought him on the stream a couple times. I own a Shih Tzu named Mickey, and maybe I'll bring him on to the next stream. Favorite place to visit in the Philippines? Left y'all around. Went to Cebu. That was nice. That was a lot different than the hustle and bustle of the Philippines. Cooking shows or anime? Neither, but I know that my wife watched cooking shows and my son Jacob watched this volleyball anime called Haiku. Also, favorite YouTuber to watch? Oh, good question. Canuck Clay. He's got some really good opinions on. No. Favorite YouTuber to watch? I've been watching Tristan Jazz, the basketball player. He does a lot of trick shots and vlogs all his games. I've actually been watching a lot of his stuff recently. Favorite lawn sport? Got to go with ping pong, even though we played on concrete. Favorite lawn sport? Bus or walking? I enjoy walking. Beautiful resorts in Cebu. Yes. Is Tyler Toffoli still a Canuck? No, he's hurting us. Favorite lawn sport? Oh, it's got to be touch football. Although I'm getting into spike ball. I'm not that good, but I love it. Okay, and last one. Favorite place to travel? I want to get back to Japan, but Gail and I had plans to go to Rome for our 20th anniversary this summer. And obviously we got other plans. We'll have to do that another time. Golf. Oh, yeah, I enjoy golf, but not as much as I enjoy football. But I enjoy golf. I'm not that good at Inferno. Canuck Clay is a great YouTuber. Thoughts, Clay? Yeah, I think he's good. He's got a good, consistent delivery. He's loyal to his subscribers. And I think he provides the preeminent Canucks knowledge in this and Canucks content in this market. There, how's that? It's not cocky. It's just confidence. And there we go. I hope that came across the right way. Okay. I'm going to go check out Canuck Clay. Yeah, you guys should subscribe to this guy named Canuck Clay. He's okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. We're at the 46-minute mark, so I'll say this right away. This is where you can type anything in the comment section. Keep it clean. I will watch it before I go to bed, but this is where I do my sign-off now. So take a deep breath. Wasn't the result we wanted, but this is what I think is going to happen. I think the Canucks will take 2 out of 3 from Toronto. Doesn't matter which 2. They'll take 2 out of 3 from Toronto. They'll come back home still at 8-8. They'll come back home with a 500 record. And then, 16 games down, 40 to go. This season is going to quickly continue to move on. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You know I do not take you for granted. And subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video if you like the fact that we were able to get together. And once again, if you want to consider joining as a member, we have, as you can see on the screen, we have 19 members right now. We'd love to get that to close to 50 by the end of this month, but we'll see what happens. Maybe when the Canucks start winning a bit more, that will go up. But regardless, if you are supporting financially or not, I appreciate all of your support and your great feedback as always. So I will see you on Thursday night, same time, after hopefully a Canucks victory. In the meantime, I'll be vlogging more tomorrow after I watch the post-game clips. That's kind of what I do to give me some ammunition for my vlog tomorrow. So I got 2 vlogs tomorrow and Thursday, and then our next post-game Thursday night when the Vancouver Canucks play their first game of the season against Toronto. They dipped below 500. The Canucks have a chance to move back to 500 with a win on Thursday night. So thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great night. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah.